Want an EV? An awful lot of people do. In some recent months, electric vehicle sales have grown by as much as 30%, while combustion model registrations have fallen by a similar amount, so you're not alone, and won't be going forward. Bloomberg predicts that 1 in every 5 new cars sold will be electrified by 2026. Others think it will be sooner, as the British government deadline for the ban of full combustion models in 2030 draws closer. One of the reasons why sales of EVs have grown so quickly in recent months is the huge increase in choice now offered by the major makers. It'll almost certainly be very different to when you last looked, with EVs now represented in almost every automotive market segment. To help you choose, we'll brief you here on what's available across the different classes of car you might want to consider, and try to give you some guidance along the way. So let's get started. What's your EV going to be used for? If it'll simply be a second or third car for short town trips, then something city car or super mini sized with a relatively restricted range might be fine. Yes, a smaller battery will give you less driving range, but it'll also mean the vehicle will charge more quickly and be lighter, so the car will handle better. The market's smallest and cheapest EVs are Smart's 4.2 and 4.4 models, or perhaps the Volkswagen e-Up and Seat's Mi Electric, but trendier, slightly more expensive options are provided by the 3 cars you might be more familiar with, the Mini Electric, the Honda E and the Mazda MX-30. If driving range matters as much as fashion, Fiat's all-electric 500 is a good choice. It comes in cabriolet form too. And if you need that range with more cabin space with a small EV, you'll get it from cars like the Vauxhall Corsa E, the Peugeot E208, the BMW i3 and the Renault Zoe. If you're switching from something Focus or Golf-sized, there's the Nissan Leaf, the Volkswagen ID.3, the Kia e-Niro, the Hyundai Ioniq Electric, the MG5 EV and the Citroën EC4. Or you can have your electric car in the form of a compact 5 or 7 seat MPV by choosing between 3 closely related models, the Citroën e-Berlingo, the Peugeot e-Rifter or the Vauxhall Combo e-Life. Those searching for an EV confection packaged up as a small SUV might prefer to look at models like the Hyundai Kona Electric, the Vauxhall Mokka E, the MG ZS EV, the DS3 Crossback E-Tense and the Kia Soul EV. Arguably the fastest growing EV segment is for compact to mid-sized SUV models fractionally larger, and it covers a wide span of price and choice. Aiming to stay resolutely affordable are models like the Skoda Enyaq iV, the Subaru Solterra and the Toyota BZ4X. For a little extra, you can get more space with the Ford Mustang Mach-E or the Volkswagen ID.4. Uber fashionable styling with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 or the Kia EV6, or coupe-like looks with the Nissan Ariya, the Volvo C40 Recharge, the Skoda Enyaq iV Coupe, or the Volkswagen ID.5. You might alternatively simply want to invest in a car of this size with a better bonnet badge, say a model like the BMW i4, or if you want a compact to mid-sized SUV, the Volvo XC40 Pure Electric, the Polestar 2, the Mercedes EQA or EQB, the Lexus UX300e, and the Audi Q4 e-tron and its cousin the Cupra Born. Plus, there's the Tesla twins, the Model Y hatch and the Model 3 Saloon, which have the benefit of being backed by that brand's supercharger network, which the American company reckons is so wide that at least one charging station is within reach of 99% of all UK households. Pushing a little further into the pricier part of the mid-sized EV sector opens up access for you to models like the BMW iX3, the Mercedes EQC, the Jaguar I-Pace and Audi's e-tron and Sportback e-tron models. These cars can be very luxurious, but if you want that in a slightly larger EV, then you might prefer to look at 2 closely related GT-style coupe saloon models, the Porsche Taycan and the Audi e-tron GT, both aimed at the Tesla Model S and the Mercedes EQE, but not quite as opulent as what is currently the market's priciest EV, the Mercedes EQS. Or if you want a large SUV, the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, the Tesla Model X, or BMW's iX. You can even get an EV capable of taking a huge family, should you want to opt for a Vauxhall Vivaro e-Life, a Peugeot e-Traveller, or a Citroën e-Space Tourer, but those models won't go quite as far as the much pricier Mercedes EQV. It all means that you won't be short of choice. There are other factors to consider though, as well as size and segment genre when it comes to choosing an EV. Everyone gets very hung up on driving range figures. Think around 130 miles for the smallest models, around 200 miles for most EV super minis, around 250 miles for better, smaller SUVs, and 300 to 350 miles for bigger crossovers. But charging time is arguably equally important. It might not much matter if your EV doesn't go particularly far if it can be conveniently charged in less time than it takes for you to stop at a motorway service area and consume a café au lait and a plate of strudel. Most of the major players in the industry have stuck with a 400-volt charging structure for their EVs, but the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6, the Porsche Taycan and the Audi e-tron GT go further, offering an 800-volt multi-charging system that will enable you to get quicker charges from the new generation of ultra-fast 270-kilowatt public chargers that are springing up, most of them planted by the manufacturer-supported Ionity network. 400-volt EV models can use these too, but the charging won't be quite as fast. Either way though, the problem is that the UK currently has very few 270 kilowatt chargers of this sort, and with lesser capacity public rapid chargers, the 800-volt system isn't of any real benefit. Eventually, the UK public charging network will be so advanced that those who live in flats or without off-road parking will be able to charge and run an EV without a second thought, but that day is still a little way off, so it'll probably be difficult to choose an electric vehicle at the moment if you don't have a driveway or a garage. Assuming you do, if you're fresh to the idea of a full battery model, you'll need to buy a home charging wall box with it. Well, you will unless you've got a brand new house anyway. New government guidelines stipulate that all future new houses built must include an EV wallbox charger. But most customers will have to add one into their property, the cost of which typically varies between around £300 and about £1,000 depending on the kind you choose, before a government subsidy of £350 can be subtracted. You'll be able to program your wallbox to work with low-cost tariff electricity using menu screens available on the centre monitor inside the car or via an associated app for your phone that the brand in question will provide. Having considered all of this, you might well feel that the time is right to switch to an EV. Very soon, almost everyone will be. In Norway, for instance, already over 70% of new car sales are of electric vehicles, and most manufacturers now admit that they've stopped long-term development of petrol and diesel combustion engines. All of the reasons you might have given in the past for not choosing an EV, restricted driving range, lack of choice, dodgy driving dynamics, have all to some extent been addressed in more recent times. Even prices are looking more affordable with a wide range of leasing deals available. So you're all ready for an all-electric future, which you'll be more comfortable about now that you can get home on the range.